Ahoy! We're gonna look at the patch notes.
Welcome
Let's jump right in.
to the legendary Tanuki update show. And would you believe it? This is the final update show of season 7, and we have got an absolute banger lined up for you guys today. You got a ton of awesome skins, some balance changes, and of course, the reveal of the final god of season 7, our newest hunter to join the battleground, Danzaborou. And here to break things down with me, I always got this squad, my trusty pals from the design team, Pon and Clumsy. How are you guys doing today?
Doing really well.
Ponbon's beard's growing.
Uh-oh, Pon, we can't hear you. You might have an issue with your audio there.
I was wondering about that.
Working through it, you know.
How about now?
There we go. We can hear you.
Okay, this is gonna be really hard to adjust because Ponbon is super quiet compared to the others.
Let's go ahead and get down to business. So there's no bonus balance coming
I don't know
up,
what to do about that.
but there are a few skins that we want to put on people's radar that is coming out in a couple weeks on December 1st. And you know, it's that time of year. Things are getting a little bit chilly. So we're going to start off with the Winter Wonderland chest. And the first skin we got up is Chilling Wraith Hades. And I love these skins to where they're winter vibes, but they're not like the holiday. They're just super cool. And this Hades skin looks really, really great. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Those poor minions, dude. Minions get no respect.
Just frozen in time. And I believe we've got the turnaround video so you guys can get a better look at the model here that's coming out in game. And again, this is going to be in the Winter Wonderland chest coming your way on December 1st. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Chilling Wraith Hades.
I hunger for their suffering. I hunger for their souls.
There we go.
Dude,
I cannot wait to play with this one. I know. Gosh, the details in some of the armor and the back piece. I love Hades skins because they always have like the particles and stuff that you can semi-see through, but they're looking really cool. And on an alternative note, still in the Winter Wonderland chest, but a little bit more lighthearted, we've got Snow Kitten Bastet. And I'm loving this one. It's got the fashion vibes, the snow leopards going on. What do you think about this one, Clumsy?
Yo,
I always wonder how...
I'm just looking at the kittens. They look so vicious, but at the same time so cute.
Bastet gets so many skins.
People apart in the game.
I know, right? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at
I'm surprised she has so many players that it's worth making skins for her.
At the model that's headed your way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there we go. The kitties definitely look cute, but ferocious.
No,
I love the light blues and the whites as well. This one looks awesome. Let's take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
Twist collection. My fans on PodTube are gonna go wild.
There we go. This one is headed your way in the Winter Wonderland chest. But we've also got a couple more things to end out the Odyssey Reckoning for this year. We'll kick things off with Demon Scourge Athena. This one is kind of in the Demon Hunter skin line that we've done in the past. I believe we had like a Jingwei skin and maybe an Izanami skin. But we've got a Guardian this go around. So pulling up the card art here, I love the vibes here.
This one was actually Datamined. I didn't make a video for this one, but
this demon hole, like the kind of like
pretty cool.
The like demon witch hunter feel where you have like that kind of like the leather armor and stuff. It's so cool. I just love this demon time.
Yeah, I know, this is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a look at the model in game and check out a little bit more details there. I love the shield. All the details.
Wow, that does look very cool.
Oh, that's sick. And I just love, you can see like her tool belt. She's got like all the tools that she would need. She's going out on a mission to hunt some demons. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
I am the watcher at the gates. If you have any hope not to perish, pray I survive.
There you go. And the last skin headed you guys' way on December 1st is Sacred Arrow Rama. This one's also going to be available in the Odyssey Reckoning.
That was also
towards the end of this event. And we had kind of a darker skin with Athena, but this Rama skin, I'm loving the light vibes. Definitely looking angelic. I love the feathers. This one's super dope, and I can't wait to take a look at it.
Oh, the wings on the ultimate are going to be cool. I think they're just on the ult.
Oh my gosh. So bright.
Yeah, the Steam always kicks ass. Ooh, looking at the game. That's pretty sweet. That helmet is awesome.
The
helmet. I didn't realize his arm was like actually like on fire.
Yeah, I know, right? I was about to say he's got like some fire, shooting the fire shots, literally. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Sacred Arrow Rama.
Only together can we stand against evil.
I dig it.
Nice. Simple and clean. You got the vibes. He's a man on the mission. That wraps it up for all the content that's headed you guys' way on December 1st as a part of the TMNT update, actually. Now let's go ahead and start kicking off some community news. We definitely want to let you guys know about a few things before we hop into all the balance changes headed your way. So I'm just going to rattle through these and we'll get through it. First up, we've got the TMNT Battle Pass that is still live in game. Definitely get radical on the battleground. If you haven't already, pick up the Battle Pass, unlock Leonardo automatically.
So nice.
And you guys can work your way through to unlock all the turtles.
But playing against all of them is so
recolors
confusing.
for all 4. Next up, we've got Prime Gaming. That is still happening right now. If you're watching on Twitch and you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link that account to your Hi-Res account and get Cosmic Power Anubis for free. So go ahead and head to primegaming.com/smite, or you can click that crown in the top right corner of your screen to claim that reward for free. And last but not least, yesterday we launched the Season 7 digital loot pack with a ton of awesome skins, including the SK Gaming Merlin skin. Shout outs to all the SK fam that won Worlds last year. The Merlin skin is awesome. You can pick that up right now in game. Now let's move on to some of community related stuff that's going on. We've got the Olympians applications that are actually live and open right now.
Oh, what?
So if you guys are interested in serving on our Smite Player Council, you can head to smitegame.com/Olympians, put in your application.
Let's see who reapplies.
Applications will be open for a month, and then we'll go through and do community voting in December, and then we'll announce the council in January. So if you're looking to join the council, we've definitely had a ton of fun with this year's Olympians. Would be awesome, and we'd love to have you serve on the council. Last, for community news, we've got the Smite birthday art submissions that are open right now, but the cutoff is on January 4th. So if you're interested in drawing an avatar, a jump stamp, or a global emote or anything, be sure to get your submissions in there. And last but not least, for community news, we definitely want to give you guys a tune in for Hi-Res Showcase and SWC that's coming in January. We had playoffs over the weekend, but in December, we've got the wild card playoffs where your SOC and SCC teams are going to be battling it out for that spot in the playoff placement bracket for SWC. We're going to be having some meet and greets during Hi-Res Showcase. They're going to be happening in our official Discord. The schedule is actually live at highresshowcase.com if you guys want to check that out. And then last but not least, for community news, cosplay contest. We want to see all the awesome stuff.
How many times are you going to say last but not least?
The cosplay contest cutoff date for submissions is December 18th. So if you've been working on a cosplay and definitely want to participate in that contest, head over to highresshowcase.com and shoot in your submission by the 18th to be eligible to participate. And that was definitely a mouthful. Thanks for hanging out. That is all
last but not
community
least,
news. Let's go ahead and
vote
kick
for the
it off
community
and start
awards.
talking about 7/12, the last update of the season. And we're going to start off with some quality of life stuff. And I'll defer to you guys. The first thing I want to talk about is this new end of match lobby that we're working on. What's going on with that, Pon?
What?
Yeah, so we have a new end of match lobby. There's basically there's been a whole bunch of new art done to it. There's been a few like feature implementations, but the big thing we wanted to do is make sure that that end of match lobby looked nice and slick, looked nice and modern. Update a few things that need to be updated, and we're hoping that players really enjoy it because there's some interesting features in there, including like some graphs that let you represent like how you compare it against your other teammates. It's just overall a nice update.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've got some screenshots that we'll be able to toss up on screen
Awesome.
and kind of show people the updates that are coming up. But pretty much we took everything that's in the end of match lobby and kind of cleaned things up and made it a little bit more accessible and easier to access the
Already
information,
glitched at the bottom left.
especially for those that are playing on controllers. So this is kind of the cleaned up results screen. We've got the worshipers and experience on the other side. What I'm really looking forward to is some of the scoreboard stuff. There we go.
Yep.
I believe we're going to go ahead and show off. So this has been cleaned up. And then if you hover
I don't
over
even know
names
if I like this better.
on the scoreboard, you actually be getting some more information on the right-hand side. So if production wants to just go to the
There we
next
go.
screenshot,
Nice.
there we go.
Right.
This is what I'm looking forward to. So all of that
Those stats
information that
were
was on
in
the
there.
scoreboard in the end of match lobby is cleaned up, easily accessible.
They're not?
You just hover over a name and you get all that
maybe
information on
yeah, they
what
are.
happened in game.
This is nothing new.
Exactly.
There's a
Just
lot of
making sure that
new
at your
information.
fingertips you can see all of it.
So maybe it's new on console. I don't know.
There we go. Detail screen here.
I don't
Of
know.
course, we were
Like,
playing. That
I'd
was an
rather see
interesting
that
game with
invested into
999
work on the in-game UI.
The most even
Super
match
even
ever.
game. I know, right? I don't
With
know how you
incredible
lost
god
that one.
level.
And here, and here's some of the graphs.
This
that you're
is
talking
okay. This
about,
is cool.
Pun,
This I like.
Get more of a visual representation.
Even
on
though
what
it's just
happened in
it's just the
match.
same thing as the other one. Like it's
You can
visual
sort those by
instead
any
of
of the tabs on the left-hand side, which is pretty awesome.
it's the same stats. It's the same
Yeah,
stats.
definitely
It's
looking
just
forward to
all
this, and this is
graphs.
coming out in the next update, 7.12, new end of match lobby for you
Mhm.
guys. And the next quality of life update, this is kind of a callback if you guys were just watching this month in Smite in that Scream clip. We're actually making some changes to the kill streak timer. We're going to be increasing the time frame where a successive kill counts towards your accolades. That's going up from
good.
10 seconds to 15 seconds. So hopefully there's a lot more pentakills around for everybody.
Honestly, I think that's fine because there were so many pandas.
Yeah, it's one of
that
those
were
things that when you're playing, it's
just
like,
near
man, that
misses.
felt like a pentakill, but it was like actually 11 seconds. So just
I know, yeah.
removing the ambiguity, right? If it's at 15 seconds and you still couldn't get the kill, you probably didn't get the pentakill. But 10 to 15, that's like a kind of fuzzy gray area.
I like that.
For sure. Well, that wraps it up for quality of life updates. Are you guys ready to start talking about balance?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right, let's get into it. And I do want to tell everybody that's watching in chat, we're working on patch notes. They are not quite live on the site yet, but we've got our awesome web and community teams working to get patch notes live for you guys. So you won't be able to follow along with us right now, but we're shooting to have notes up as soon as possible for you guys. So let's start things off with game modes. And the first thing that we want to talk about is Corrupted Arena is making its return.
Ooh.
My favorite adventure. Looking forward to knocking people in some holes. The map has actually got a lighting update, and of course that relic is coming back up to where you can, it's like the wind burst. Clumsy, what do you got to say about this?
Your
my
my
adventure
second
guy.
favorite adventure after Racer, of course. Like,
After Racer, of
obviously.
course, yeah. For sure. Well, I'm definitely looking
I'm
forward to
excited for this.
Corrupted Arena. I know, right? It's my favorite one, like I said, after Racer, but I'm looking forward to coming that game. Next up, let's talk about Conquest. So SWC is coming up in January, and this is actually going to be the last season that we're going to be seeing some competitive play on the current map. So we're actually making some changes to the Conquest map to give it a proper send-off. We've got a video that we've got to show you guys what we're doing, but we're adding the World Championship logo to the mid lane. We've got some statues of some of the past World Champion skins hanging out across the map. We're gonna have banners of all the teams participating, and then we're making some changes to the Fire Giant pit to call out Thor's hammer is crashing down. There you go. Here's some of the statues that are gonna be in the map, and there you go.
Oh,
There's
that's
Thor's
cool.
hammer kind of hanging off in the Fire Giant pit. It's going to go live in 7.12, and this will be played during the World Championship. So definitely looking forward
Imagine
to all
somebody
the
finds a
esports
wall
that are
glitch with
happening.
that.
SWC in January, final
Worlds.
competitive play on this map. Definitely looking forward to giving it a proper send-off. Let's go ahead and get right into balance now, guys. So no item balance changes this go around. We're looking to make just our last balance sweep before Worlds. So we're looking towards starting things off with meta nerfs. Let's talk about Ra. We're going to be making a nerf to Solar Blessing, decreasing the physical power, magical power, and protections on the ability. So Ra's definitely been seeing a lot of play.
Honestly,
So
fair
we're
since it's
tuning
buff.
down his 3 a little bit.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good. He was one of those characters that like people kind of were like playing around a little bit with, but then we gave him a few buffs and he really rose into prominence, especially the movement speed slow, being able to remove it with Solar Blessing, or not Solar Blessing, his 2, the one that burst the sun. But we like that playstyle, we like that utility he has, but Solar Blessing was providing a bit too much. So we're just decreasing the power, protections, and magical power a little bit just to take some of the edge off, especially when you're sieging an objective or sieging a Phoenix.
All right, next up on the list, Erlang Shin going to be seeing a nerf here. Spot Weakness. We're going to be increasing the mana cost and decreasing the base damage. What's going on with Erlang, Clumsy?
Yeah, I mean, Erlang is, we see him being brought into the meta a lot, and then sometimes we give him a couple of small nerfs and he just falls off completely. But right now is one of those times where you're seeing a lot of Erlang Shen.
For quite a while.
Especially in the jungle. So we wanted to touch a little
Surprising
bit on
that
the
it took
spot
so long.
weakness, find his actual weakness, and bring that into a bit of a light. Increasing his mana cost, decreasing his damage just a little bit. We don't think it's going to really knock him off of his pedestal. He'll still be pretty strong.
All right, moving
Fair.
right along. We've got Persephone up next. We're going to be seeing a nerf to Grasp of Death, and we are decreasing the ult deployable HP from 5 hits down to 3 hits if somebody is locked in the cage.
Oh.
More specifically, if it hits a wall and not a player. So
Oh.
if you miss the Persephone ult and you don't actually cage someone, its health will be decreased from 5 to 3 automatically, so it's really easy to break it off the wall. And so this is just really to hit one of her frustration points, and if you read the dev commentary, it goes a little bit more into other frustration points, and maybe even future plans we might bring to Persephone. But this was just when it misses, it's still a very powerful ability. We're just doing something to make sure that it feels less powerful.
That's good.
And with all these characters, you'll probably hear say like little adjustments. That is because this is the 7.12 pre-Worlds patch. Our goal really isn't to shake up the meta so drastically that all the things that players have been playing with are kind of like changed as they go into the tournament setting. So really what we're looking to do is take the really high end top picks, take some of their edge off, make it so that there's a bit more competition for the very high pick ban slots, and just kind of round out the roster for Worlds.
For sure. All right. Next up, we've got Yemoja coming up next. We're going to be seeing a decrease in the slow from 30% to 20% on Riptide, and then increasing the cooldown of River's Rebuke, that's a tongue twister, by 10 seconds at all ranks.
Yeah, so Yemoja, I know there's going to be a lot of feedback from the the social media and the chat, but we didn't really want to nerf her consecutively back to back. We know that in the casual scene, she is really subpar at this point. But contrast that to the pro scene where she is still 100% pick ban. And you know what? I talked to a few of the pro players that enjoy playing her. Some of them are like, yeah, we actually don't know why right now. But the other ones are like, no, actually she is insane. It's like a lot of these different key points. But we wanted to target the things that we think are really going to be the highest level competitive issues. So River's Rebuke, 100 to 110 seconds. We're seeing pro players line this up perpendicular to the lane and really catching a lot more people off. Riptide as well, we think the pro players use this to really great strength, finding gaps in the ultimate and then putting the Riptide right at the end and just bringing people back like a Hercules pull. We wanted these little targeted changes for Yemoja, especially with Worlds coming up, like Pon said. We don't think this should trickle down to the casuals too much.
I agree. Like, you will obviously
Coming
still
up next
feel it,
on
but
the
not
nerf list, we've got
that
Sobek, and we're going to be seeing a decrease in base damage on Lurking in the Waters.
Yeah, so Sobek's really kind of turned into like a character that has been seen in like all levels of ranks in the dual lane. He's one of the most contested characters in like SPL and ranked as a whole right now because of it. There's people who are more contested than him, but he's very high up there. And so we're just looking to take some of the ult base damage away. This ultimate chunks really, really hard. So the 50 base damage nerf across all ranks. It will mostly affect his level 1, but it will persist throughout the whole game and just create opportunities where Sobek won't quite be able to secure a kill just off a pluck 3-2 ult and like getting someone stuck in it. So a little bit more team play required to get kills.
All right, moving right along. I think this is last up, maybe not last up for nerfs, but maybe for a while. We've got Set up next. God, that saw a whole lot of play over the weekend in playoffs. We're going to be making a change to Skewer, increasing the cooldown from 8 seconds to 9 seconds.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, speaking of gods, which you see a lot in the
I think it was the other way around before.
Set is kind of just coming and taking over, right? We saw him a little bit before, then he kind of fell off a little bit, and then just bang out of nowhere. You see him play as ADC, you see him in mid sometimes,
He got buffed.
jungle. He's everywhere. But he also has such a high skill cap and skill floor. We want to be very careful with the nerfs we did. Targeting Skewer for just 1 second is really going to impact him in lane and in the jungle, slowing down his clear, and we think this is going to be a good start, and we'll see after that if we need to get more in.
For sure. All right, let's start talking about some buffs. And we've got the Morrigan.
They're really targeting the right things.
We did it, chat. We did it, Reddit. We're making a change to change. This ability is now going to transfer any jungle buff or consumable potion effects that she has active for the duration of her ultimate. So that elixir of speed, you're not going to be losing it anymore in the late game.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we literally saw the Reddit thread about this yesterday, which is funny because we already have all those patch notes together and everything, so we're already doing this. But yeah, this is one of those things that just felt bad to lose like the thing that you spent like 3K or 1.5K on. Just there's some rule clarification too, like when Morrigan transforms into the other god, all she does is copy their item in their current build, not really anything else they have equipped. That's also still consistent. So you shouldn't expect that all of a sudden you have a 3K potion from the person you transformed into because of this.
Cool. All right, and then moving on along, we've got kind of a set of changes here. We'll kick it off with Zeus, though. Aegis Assault can now be placed over walls. And how do you guys want to do? You want to go through the others? Or you want to talk about Zeus first?
I think we could probably do them all together. It makes the most sense in my mind because it's really just like.
All right, so next on the list, a similar change. We're Amir. We're going to be making the same change for Ice Wall, and then Terra as well, Crushing Earth. Those 3 abilities will now be able to be placed over walls.
I like it.
Yeah, most range deployables in Smite can be fired over walls. There's times that we don't want to apply this to every single ability in the game, and we're going to be looking at each case specifically. But when we were looking at Zeus, we thought, Ymir and Terra are very similar examples of abilities we would expect to be able to fire over a wall, and it feels odd, actually, that you can't. There's going to be some different kinds of implications here. So maybe for Zeus, because you can't fire your one over the wall through the walls, maybe this won't be as effective. But for Ymir and Terra, where you're actually creating deployables on block player collision, that could be a pretty big deal, and we're pretty excited about this.
For sure. Definitely looking forward to it. All right, I'm excited about this next change in particular. We're going to be showing some love to Bologna and some pretty big buffs here. I'll start off with Master of War.
It's so bad
We're going to
statistically.
be increasing the passive duration, and then Shield Bash, Bludgeon, and Scourge. We're increasing the weapon duration for all of those. And then Eagle's Rally, we're now going to be providing magical power to allies as well as physical power if you are standing in the aura.
Passive 4 seconds
Yeah,
to
so
7
lots
seconds,
of
though.
few quality life buffs type changes as well as direct buff changes. Master of War was kind of a shorter duration, and it also didn't match with your weapon timer. So when you pull out like the bludgeon, if you aren't taking damage or hitting someone, it goes away in 5 seconds. But Master of War lasted 4 seconds. They both now last a consistent 7 seconds. So you kind of use that as a little bit of a metric for when your weapon's going to change. But we also made it so that the weapon lasts longer, so that you can actually take it from camp to camp or from camp to lane a bit more easily. And now if you're in the middle of that bludgeon swing that you think is going to kill and get the last hit, and it swaps to the sword at the very last second and doesn't deal enough damage, that no longer occurs. Now it will preserve, even if you're at 7 seconds when you start the swing, it'll wait until the swing resolves. And if you hit someone, it'll stay as the bludgeon. If you don't hit someone, it'll swap back. So just a lot of quality life for Bologna, just helping her out a little bit there. And then Eagle's Rally finally bringing more team utility rather than just physical god utility.
Very nice.
For sure. All right, next up on the list, we've got Cthulhu. Quality of life change, maybe a small nerf, depending on how you're feeling, but we're pretty much just doing some changes to make persistent buff and debuff effects more visible when he's in his ultimate form. That way you can see things like thorns a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely heard what people were saying, that even though you cannot use relics like thorns inside the ultimate, if you proc it beforehand and then go into the ultimate, it's still going to be obscured by his pretty large mesh.
Nice.
We've been working on this kind of a change for a while. It affects a lot more things than you'd expect. A lot of the things that are going to be playing off of his waist, his quote-unquote waist at that side, are going to be offset towards the player's camera. So this means it's not going to be offset for everyone in the exact same way. They're going to see it specifically to their camera. And it's only going to be affecting things on his waist. There are other effects that might still be hidden, and we're going to be working on those on a more individual basis, because like I said, this affects a lot more than one might just expect. But for now, thorns will be now more easily seen by players against Cthulhu.
For sure. Definitely open to the feedback. Keep sending that stuff our way, guys, and we'll definitely look into it.
Yeah.
So we've got another fix coming up for Hell. We're going to be fixing an issue for Stance Attunement, where the passive was only increasing healing from abilities and the Fire Giant buff. It should now increase heals from all sources. We also fixed an issue where the healing bonus wasn't properly ramping up over time. And then we fixed an issue where an unintended temporary icon was being displayed on the buff bar.
Yep, with all our healing changes, we're just looking for cases that break that healing consistency pass. Hell was one of them with Stance Attunement. It was oddly working on abilities and Fire Giant buff. Unsure why that one in particular, but now it should be healing from all sources the same way that
best lifesteal now.
Increase healing from all sources.
Best lifesteal, that's interesting.
All right, moving along to Loki. Going to be seeing a buff to Flurry Strike here. We're going to be increasing the final strike damage and increasing the final strike scaling. Pon, I'll let you take the floor with Loki.
Yeah, so Loki, largely we're just releasing some cool stuff. We've seen people trying him in Soul Lane, Jungle. He seems to be pretty good in both roles, although he's overwhelmingly played in the Jungle. And one thing we want to do is make sure that the Jungle Loki has a unique strength that it brings, and we felt his clear speed was a little bit low, as we want to make sure that Assassin Loki, the ones where you're building a ton of power, those feel a bit more rewarded. Nice. And Flurry Strike is one of those abilities that people feel is a little bit underwhelming, considering how long it is to channel and how much interrupt potential there is. So we're going to make it more rewarding. We're going to increase the base damage, especially on Flurry Strike, the final hit, which is mostly used in the jungle role, as well as the final strike scaling, which will make it more rewarding when you land that final one.
I hope they force
we do hear concerns about the speed of Flurry Strike, but we think that it's important to the core goal of the Loki rework, which was reducing frustration. If that becomes faster, if that becomes difficult to counter, we could be back at square one with Loki, where he's too frustrating and just kind of deletes people without any feedback. So we're looking at other ways to address that fuel versus just speeding it up and making it faster.
Right.
I dig it.
All right, moving right along. We've got a buff for tier here and change stance. We're going to be
He
increasing
actually
the
deserves this.
assault stance power and then increasing the defense stance protections on this ability.
Yeah, it's playing up the identity of each stance that you're in. Chain stance is definitely over 1 point wonder, so we wanted to make sure it just felt a little bit more relevant each time you do put a point into it. You know, getting that first point at level 1, at rank 1, you're only getting 10 power and 10 protections. That really doesn't feel like much. We've done a lot of change to tier. We just wanted to keep inching forwards to where he might be a little bit more playable at all ranks.
There we go. All right, next up we've got Sylvanas. Going to be showing some love to some base stats for Sylvanas
Definitely
here.
worth putting
We're going
1
to be
point in at
increasing
least, huh?
his base movement speed, his base attack speed, and attack speeds per level.
Yeah, Sylvanas is just, his base stats were very low. His movement speed, especially for how big he is, where his feet are covering that, like they feel like they're covering a lot of distance, he was very, very slow, and there's not really any way for his kit to like really help or make up for that too much. As well as attack speed and attack speed per level were very low.
That is not Sylvanas.
That's somewhat of a
Why should
legacy
move
thing
with
given
that?
how powerful his wave clear used to be, but it also means that any items that might splash an attack speed here or there they don't want to bring for his team, such as maybe a Shogun's Caesarea to help his team out, he was really benefiting negatively from that because it really works off your base attack speed. So these changes should just help him feel a bit better overall, move a bit faster, attack a bit faster, and just feel more smooth.
I don't need to see the
All
patch
right,
notes for
and
that.
I was just super excited about that Sylvanas buff. I got ahead of myself. Forgot to talk about Ao Kwang. So we're going to do Dragon's King Sword here. We're going to be decreasing the power-up time, and then we're actually doing a revert to Dragon's Call, increasing the attack damage.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon King Sword, we got a lot of feedback on that. It's a little bit hard to play around it sometimes, so we're thinking about reducing the passive, the duration, by the cooldown, really, by a long time, to make sure that you can get a little bit more opportunity to play around it. And like Isaiah said, it's a revert to the attack damage. We saw him, pretty highly prioritized, mostly in the ranked scene, not even so much in the SPL, right? We haven't seen him a little bit there. So we wanted to bring the attack damage back a little bit, see if we can, push him a little bit more into the meta, just for a little bit.
All right. So we already talked about Sylvanas. Let's move on to Ardeo up next. Energy Surge or Maul Prey, we're going to be decreasing the mana cost on that ability. Decompose, we're increasing the duration of the debuff, as well as Shapeshift.
Nice.
Yeah, so RTO, especially early on, has heavy mana problems, as a lot of stance switchers do. They have to essentially twice the amount of abilities to fire at the start of the game. We're just reducing this to give her more opportunity to actually mess around with like her different abilities and different stances, as well as rewarding her more for actually swapping pretty regularly. So Decompose, when you hit, you apply a debuff. That's going to last longer, so you have more opportunities to play around it, as well as Shapeshift, the buff going up to 6 seconds. Similarly, you're more rewarded for actually like constantly swapping and using your toolkit.
Nice. I like it a lot.
All right, let's talk about from bears to bees. Let's talk about Amuz and Cobb. And we're going to be doing a revert to Stinger here, increasing the base damage and also increasing the physical power scaling. What's happening with AMC?
That's a fantastic segue, Isaiah. We're just bringing a little bit of a revert to some of the previous nerfs before. Stinger, we've adjusted a lot of different parts of his kits, and this all stems back from when the passive used to be able to proc item effects. But, from there, we got some buffs in. He got really into the meta. You saw him all the time, got some more nerfs. And now we're at a spot where we think we can bring him a little bit more power. Of course, he has very little safety. His hives, we think, are in a pretty good spot, so we didn't want to bring any more power into there. We think allowing the ultimate to do a little bit more damage should probably feel fair, especially for AMC, who should be good at boxing.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it.
All right, we've got a couple other hunters lined up here. Apollo up next. So Beautiful, we're going to be increasing the damage on the ability.
Yeah, just a pretty simple buff. We've done a lot for Apollo to help him overall make better use of his passive.
10 base
have a bit
across
more
all
utility.
ranks.
And I think one thing that's holding him back just a hair is that So Beautiful is really just a damage ability. It's pretty straightforward. It helps charge up the passive a little bit, but we're going to make that damage portion feel a bit more pronounced, increasing the base damage. His clear should go up, and his opportunities to use this in boxing trade should go up.
All right, and then last up for hunters for the patch, Artemis, Transgressor's Fate. We're going to be increasing the deployer range from 35 units to 40 units.
Yeah, Artemis is she's doing pretty well, but we don't really see her that much in much of the high level scene or in the SPL. We did a lot of board changes, which I think has gone over fantastically. We gave her some slow immunity too. Now we're gonna play with Transgressor's Fate a little bit, which you don't really see that much used,
I don't
inside
even
of
know if
fights.
it's gonna
You see
notice
some
as
really
much,
cheeky
like
plays
5
with your supports or in team fights, but increase the range on it. We want us to be very, very careful, because if we think we go too far, this might actually start being pretty OP. So just a slight increase in the quality of life of this ability.
All right, got a couple more gods left for balance this round. Chalk is up next, and Stormcall. We're going to be increasing the damage mitigation that Chalk gains while he's channeling the ability.
Yeah, we've done quite a few buffs
70%.
Over time, and one thing that we've largely focused on is just increasing his overall power.
Wow.
We're a little bit more focused towards the late game, but this one is purely a more mid to late game focused change. One thing that he struggles with is once he actually gets in a team fight, he doesn't have the same tools or maybe mobility to really survive. But Stormcall could be a major cooldown now to really mitigate a ton of damage in the late game. If you jump into the enemy team and they try and burn you really quickly, you can just Stormcall to react and mitigate a ton of that away. So increasing the mitigation per rank here is going to give him an extra tool to help him in the area that he largely kind of lacks some strength in, which is that late game team fight, being the front line for your team.
70% on a tank.
All right, and last up on the list is Aquatic. I know a lot of people have been asking for some Aquatic buffs.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing a lot here. So first up, we're going to be fixing an issue where boss monsters could kill his deployed corpses. And then after that, we're just going to be doing a sweeping pass on Undead Surge, Corpse Explosion, and Fleeting Breath, decreasing the mana cost on all three of those abilities.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, Aquatic is one of those gods that does extremely well in non-conquest game modes, and while we are okay with certain gods not necessarily being meta or pro-viable in conquest, we think Aquatic could get a little bit of love there. We want it to be very specific on where we touch him. We don't think his damage necessarily needs that much of a change, but his mana cost, while he's a combo mage, and in conquest, you go through a lot of mana, so we think decreasing it across the board is going to help him a lot, and we are also going to keep a closer eye on him with potentially bigger changes into Season 8.
For sure. All right, well, that wraps it up for balance for season 8, for season 7, guys. 7/12, that's going to be coming live on December 15th, and all of that balance will be headed into the World Championships. Good job, guys.
Yeah, we got
definitely been an awesome year, but we did it. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the awesome skins that are coming out in 7/12. We got a couple that we want to talk about before we start talking about Danzaburou. So
surprising
first up,
amount
got
of balance change for last patch,
chest
but
that's
good.
going to be featuring Radiant Heroine Bologna, and this is definitely in the theme of some of our past kind of like magical girl skins, but she's a little bit more fierce and she's got some armor going on.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
So cool. I just love like the crazy like giant hammer with fire coming off it. That's just cool.
I know, right? I feel so bad for everybody that just got launched like by that strike.
Poor minions again. Poor minions.
I know,
dude.
right? There we go. And this one's definitely looking sick. Oh, I love that sword and the wings.
The wings
awesome
are cool,
too.
but I prefer normal
that's
Bologna
awesome.
skins.
Armor's looking
I
crisp.
gotta
Let's go
imagine
ahead and take a
the
listen
It's
to
like
the
Freya,
music.
honestly.
Darkness has reigned over this world for too long. Allow me to be the beacon of light that illuminates it.
It's like a remodeled Freya.
There we go. That is Radiant Heroine Bologna. Next up on the list, we've got the Mystic Shaman chest. And this one is going to feature Saurian Conjurer Aquatic. And this is definitely a skin theme that Aquatic doesn't necessarily have. And I don't think we've done anything like this before where it's just a true Mystic Shaman, but he's also kind of transformed himself into a lizard. And I'm loving, I guess those are the corpses in the background. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it's gotta be right.
Probably the ultimate.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
ultimate.
that
It's
makes
got,
sense.
like, the
I want to
corpse
see the
minions
ult
going
now.
outwards. I think the skin is fantastic. I'm super excited when we take like a base god and really change their theme. Like this could be a whole different lizard god himself. I think this is awesome.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm
100%.
definitely looking forward to seeing how this model looks. And,
Oh,
and the
yes.
detail. Oh,
wow, that is
look
cool.
at the details that we've done to like the face too to kind of give the reptilian vibe, and I'm loving the headdress as well. Super.
Yeah, Aquatic is like kind of like posture and like twitches, like even feel like correct on this. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
Only through true knowledge can you achieve power.
Sick. Love it.
I know, right? This is awesome. Well,
That
that's
might be
all
my
the skins
favorite.
that we have to talk about right now.
Didn't
We
expect
have
it,
a lot
but-
more coming up towards
Wow.
this, but it is time to talk about Danzaborou, the legendary Tanuki, the next god
Yes.
coming to Smite. We'll be right back on the other side of this break.
Wait, break? What? Oh, they're gonna play the trailer again. Fair enough. It's a good trailer. I'll watch it like 4 times when I made the video to make sure I don't miss anything. But I can watch it again.
What are you?
I am a humble sake merchant.
Beat it.
My king, I have many a tale of how my spirit...
I got all the sake I need.
Okay. If you insist, this sake is reserved for the gods.
Wait, I am a god! Proceed.
As I was saying, my sake is beyond compare. The gods were captivated by it. They couldn't resist. After one drink, they were singing my praises. They endlessly searched for me, for repeat business, of course. Once they found me, the scene erupted in celebration, and we all had such a blast. I remember Bacchus even told me that he never...
Merchant, you have a deal. I'll take your 10 cases. No. Make it 20.
Excellent.
Excellent. Who else says that?
Enjoy.
What the shell? That thief! Cretin!
Didn't even realize that Kuzenbo ends up with a mustache at the end
Welcome
of it.
back, everybody. And how about that trailer? Just so fun. I'm definitely super stoked to start talking about this legendary Tanuki. Such a trickster, such a playful guy. Let's go ahead and get right into it and talk about Danzaborou. Who is he? What's his lore? And what was our kind of strategy or direction going into this, guys?
Oh, Clumsy might be muted.
You might be muted, Clumsy.
Oh
I
well.
wanted to, just make sure it wasn't just pod, right? Just get
There we go. Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Solidarity. Danzaborou, well, he's a Bake Tanuki, which is like a Tanuki, but a more supernatural version. And there's a few of them in Japan, or in the stores, of course. And Danzaborou himself, he's the leader and supreme commander of the Sato Islands Tanukis. And the Tanukis in general, and Danzaborou and all the Bake Tanuki, they're very trickery. They're tricksters by heart. They're very playful. They're not really evil in nature or anything. His reputation in Danzaborou is not really all that bad. There's lots of different fun little stories, and it's really, when looking into Danzaborou, we're just taking all those stories and all those fun tricks that he played on people in the stories, and really wanted to play up on that. So some of my favorite ones, which are just so absurd, and the ones that I talked in the different brainstorm meetings, like Bake Tanuki in general, not just Danzaborou. There's stories of how they would hide in a bridge and people would walk over the bridge, and then just when they reach the other side, they just find out that their hair is shaven, like just gone. Like that's it. Or other stories where, yeah, look at the card art, which I think is phenomenal, with the yokai stuff going on too. Another story is where the Tanuki would disguise himself as a wine bottle, and when people would try and pick up the wine bottle, he'd just start rolling away and become impossible to catch. Just Tanukis in general, they're just fun, they're playful, and they're not always evil. Sometimes you can find out that they're there to help, and we're going to find out in Smite, right, that his story is not really one of strife. In fact, there's so much darkness in the world going on right now that he's there to kind of bring a little bit of light.
Oh my god, he looks
especially
cool.
with Tsukiyomi, who's just
cute. Oh my goodness, this is definitely what
so
everybody needed right now in Smite.
that's the gold pouch
going
on the side,
on in 2020. We
left
just
side.
needed a cute, playful trickster god to kind of close out the season, and he
Really
is
cool.
looking absolutely phenomenal. And I
Okay.
believe we're just about ready to go in game and start talking about some of these abilities, because I took a quick look in PTS this morning and he's crazy. So I will give Pon the floor and let him do the thing before we start getting into details.
Yeah,
let's
go
show
ahead.
off everything.
do the stuff.
No sound. Oh, what's that?
Nice.
What? He turns. What is Oh my god.
Oh, there we go.
I have
Oh
no
my
idea what just
goodness.
happened.
It looks
That's
so,
awesome.
so good. Awesome.
Wish we had sound.
Well, let's go ahead and kick things
I'm
off
sure
and
if people
talk
could
about
hear.
Danzaborou's.
Yeah,
Oh,
game
there
audio
we
might
go.
not be working, but we've got the visuals for now.
Yeah,
if you want to
for
hop
sure.
back, I might be able to try and fix this.
Yeah, let's if you want to come back to cameras, Pon is looking to it. But as you guys saw, a quick look at the kit here, and we can kind of start talking about the passive before we go in game. So the passive is Dubious Savings, and Clumsy, I'll let you take it away here.
Yeah,
I
so
also think we should be good in game now on audio.
Excellent. Dubious Savings, every time Danzaborou gets gold, other than from the natural spooling of the game mode, 10% of that gold gets stored into one of his money pouches, which you can see in like the passive meter. There's up to 4 pouches, and anytime he's filled up to a certain max amount, so for example, the first pouch filled up 300 gold, he gets an extra burst of gold, obviously giving you more than what you've invested, as well as permanent power. You got your 4 different money pouches to fill up throughout the game.
That was hard to hear.
And this is something that we've never done before with
because
kind
we're
of
shooting at the same time.
Quest mechanic for earning gold and getting bonus gold off of that. Super cool. Let's talk about gold. Yeah, I was gonna say let's talk about gold, but Fool's Gold this go around and his ability 1. What's going on with Fool's Gold, Clumsy?
What?
So with Fool's Gold, Danzaborou doesn't just have 1 money bag, but he's got 3 that he fires outwards. 1 in a straight line and 2 slightly at an angle. These money bags, they pass through and damage minions and they stop on the first god. They also ricochet up to 2 times, and once they finally reach their max destination, they stop and they start exploding into a bomb. They start ticking away. They have like a 1-second timer before they blow up in an explosion. If any of these money bags actually hits a god, they also drop a money coin that Danzaborou or his ally gods can pick up to gain golds, like just straight up into Danzaborou's inventory. So be note there that if you're the support for Danzaborou or his friend, if you pick up that gold, you're giving it to Danza. You're not getting it yourself, unfortunately.
Interesting.
He's tricking his teammates and the enemies all in one go.
Probably doesn't work in minions,
kind of earn
hopefully.
that gold. I'm loving the theme so far. How he just plays off, he's just a humble merchant, kind of like he talked about in the trailer. He's just here to get his gold, but he's also here to trick people. But another thing that he is all about is his sake and his alluring spirits. What's going on with ability 2?
So with ability 2, Alluring Spirits, Danzaborou takes a quick swig of a sake bottle. He gains a little bit of health before he throws it out, and once he throws it out, it deals damage in that inner circle, and then in the outer circle, it starts slowing enemy gods. And if it slows up to 3 times, and if it hits that 3 stacks, then it'll actually taunt the god towards the sake bottle. Now you can see that the sake bottle has pips. If it gets killed by the god that attacks it, or anyone else on that team, it will be destroyed early. Also, if the enemy gods that are taunted in the taunt CC get hit their maximum amount of health, they will be broken out of the effect early. So you can't just 100 to 0 someone that's being taunted.
Right.
Yeah, actually speculating on this.
I think a note that I'm seeing here is that taunt is
after dodge money.
It's got no DR on it, so it's a pretty strong taunt on the sake.
1 second taunt with no DR. That's right.
Interesting.
Good here. I'm loving the vibes here. So we've talked about Fool's
Sound is
Gold.
so cool.
We've talked about sake. We got to talk about the tricks. What's happening with Tanuki trickery and the leaves that we kind of teased last week?
That actually looks like an escape, by the way.
Quick preamble on this one. There were so many fun movement abilities we wanted to do. Like, because this takes a slot of that. We couldn't obviously do all of them. I'm sure people can think about what they wanted to see from maybe, Tanuki lore. But this one, I think, came out phenomenally. Danzaborou creates a field of, bamboo and vegetation around him, where inside this area, he's slow immune. He takes less damage from specifically basic attacks. Enemies inside that area are slowed, and he also gets that Hastalis effect, so he can attack with free movement and no basic attack.
What?
Now, the thing is if he leaves this field early before it expires, he turns into a leaf, among other leaves that mimic his exact movement. So you can see there's a big poof of effects, and then he has all these other decoy leaves. And this is what we tease, which is kind of a stealth, but not really, because enemies can see this. Now, there's a green glow around which one Danzaborou is for himself and his allies, but enemies will not be able to tell that. They'll just see any one of these leaves. There's a very short window where Danzaborou is not going to transform out of the leaf if he's attacked, but after that window, we're talking about 0.5 seconds, any attack from enemies or from if Danzaborou himself attacks, he'll revert back to his normal state.
That's super awesome. I'm loving the kind of take on. It's not quite stealth, but it's still got some illusion there, some trickery.
Exactly.
I'm loving the effects on this ability as well, and the audio.
It looks really nice, but I feel like it's too strong.
How we got some of the traditional.
Like the fact that he has
Japanese
2 mobility
instruments
abilities
as kind of audio cues for
with
all
that
these
kit.
abilities.
The sound design is
great so far.
Because he goes from 370 to 500 something movement speed.
That's so awesome. I know we usually reserve that praise towards the end, but I wanted to say that specifically now.
Oh, for sure. All right, let's talk about the final bang, the blast, the uproarious rocket. What's happening with this ultimate ability?
All right, Uproarious Rocket. Well, Danzaborou, you know, using that leaf magic, he summons a magical leaf, and then he turns it into a bamboo rocket. And while he's preparing, you can aim only within 180 degrees during the pre-fire. And once you fire, well, you can just fire it like a normal projectile. Bang! He can fire it, it'll lock onto gods. It'll also collide with walls once it is locked on. So it is pretty easy to dodge if you got like a movement ability. But it will go a very far distance when it has locked on. That's not the range that you see in the targeter. That's only the lock-on range. But inside the pre-fire, while he's using, while he's transforming the leaf, you can press the ability again. And please remember to do this because I know there's a lot of like tricks and like people who forgot this with Merlin, but you can press the ability again to become the rocket. You'll see the targeter change from the rectangle to a line, and you can charge and steer the rocket yourself. If the rocket in any of these forms hits an enemy directly, it'll stun them if they're gods and deal 50% damage.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wait, why does he not ride it?
Get over this. This
no,
is so
it's
awesome.
so much
He's
Why is he inside of it?
around. Oh, this is awesome. And is Danzaborou targetable while he's the rocket?
Danzaborou is damage immune while in the rocket state, but as soon as he's out of it, he's very much vulnerable.
No, I wish he was riding it like in the trailer.
This is definitely awesome. I can't wait to just like fire this in duo lane and like go all the way to red buff and engage in a fighter and engage that's happening. That's
it goes pretty fast. It goes pretty far, and I know we're gonna get into like his playstyle and stuff in a minute, but I want to let people be aware that this ability, while it looks strong on paper, it's very easy to dodge and get away from. The rocket in either the projectile form or if he's charging can collide with walls and can be body blocked, right? And it's a full 1.5 second pre-fire time. So if you want to gank him, he's actually pretty susceptible to ganks. You just body block the rocket and he's not going anywhere. So when you're Danzaborou, be very careful when you're using this ability. It's not the easiest to use in the middle of combat. And especially in the jungle, where you're probably not going to get the lock on, you might need to use this offensively in late game team fights.
For sure. Well, yeah, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but how are you guys feeling about his playstyle? I know in the closer look we said, traditional hunter in the dual lane maybe can flex in the mid, but other than that, where do you guys think that he's going to land, and how are you building him? How are you playing him?
Ooh, that's an important one. I think he is definitely a traditional hunter. I think he'll be best played in the ADC alongside other supports. If he's got a strong aggressive support with him, he actually dominates pretty well in the early game. Late game, with his deployable-based nature, it's a little bit hard to pull off some of his abilities, especially his ultimate in the jungle. But, I mean, you're a hunter, so you just hit that left clicks, and if you've got a good build,
if you do 2 and 3, that should still be pretty strong.
And so, speaking about builds, like you said, while we know that the bow builds and the attack speed build is extremely meta, and it does work well on hunters, including Danzaborou, we have found a lot of success going Transcendence and high power on his abilities. So definitely give that a try. Maybe flex in the Atlantis bow. But I mean, Season 8's coming up soon, so I'm sure that'll shake things up.
I know, right? Definitely looking forward to it. Well, this is the final god of Season 7, and we've kind of gone through all of his kit and kind of some
like his
recommendations. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to say about Danzaborou before we start looking at his recolors?
Because
I think the biggest
branch there that was swinging around.
Like that 3 ability, the amount of times we have just hard juked and confused the entire playtest has been really high. You can do some really clever, flashy stuff with this. It's really cool. My favorite ability.
Yeah. Pon has definitely done some really fun stuff with this one, because like he'll 5-head this one, right? He'll use this one, he'll definitely look at the leaves and where they're going and aim it towards a place where he wants enemies to think he's going, rather than just focusing on where he is. Because if you're playing and you're just playing as the leaf and you just hug the wall, the players know it's going to be you. But you got to pretend to be the other decoys. That's the next level.
Right, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some 200 IQ plays with the Leafs coming up. All right, well, that's a wrap for Danzaborou, but let's go ahead and start looking at some of the recolors that we've got for him coming up. You've got Bake Danuki Danzaborou coming up first. This is the standard recolor that you'll be able to get with, gems in favor. I love the reds, and this card art is awesome. I love the rice ball with the winky face and the oh no, he's going to eat me.
I actually haven't seen this one. This one's amazing.
Yeah, this is great, and I believe we'll be able to see just a turnaround video and also be able to listen to the voice pack. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Doesn't actually look all that different, I think.
What? Are your subtitles not turned on?
Not that one.
So much character. I'm loving this. And also, we noted in the closer look that we did get a Japanese voice actor that's currently living in Japan, and it just comes off super great. Yep. Sorry, go ahead, Clumsy.
No, I was going to say, he's a native Japanese voice actor. Dai Tabuchi, I believe his name. He did a fantastic job, and we love the sound and the character that he brought to Danzaborou.
Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Ascended Danzaborou. This is your 2020 Season Pass recolor. If you've picked up that pass, this card art is so great. Sorry, that just caught me off guard, but you'll get this limited recolor, and this card art is really, really great. If you guys are into Japanese yokai at all, you'll probably see some familiar faces in the background of all the different yokai. A lot of
frog in front
in the background.
I only see the kappa.
The frog in front.
I think the first time we saw this card art, we looked at it for like 10 minutes, and then we kept realizing, oh man, there's a whole other thing there. Oh, there's another thing over there. Like it's just chock full of stuff. So cool.
I know there's so much going on. And Danzaborou just on top with the sake, just leading the charge in the parade procession. This one is so good. But we've got another voice line to share with you guys. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
Yada, yada. Really going to make me get up and have to fight, huh? Mendokusai.
So great. I just love his like personality. Easygoing. Why am I even here? But I guess I'll hang out for a little bit. It's great. And we've also got the mastery skins. We'll launch Danzaborou with all of his mastery skins, gold, legendary, and diamond. I believe we have the card art here. We don't have the turnaround videos, but
the gold one is very fitting
to check out in PTS. But I love this card art too, and it's definitely playing off the gold for the gold skin.
Yeah, that's a good point. I love it.
This one is looking great. Well, that is a wrap for Danzaborou, but that is not the end of the show. We still have a ton of stuff to go over. So I want to kick things off, and let's start talking about the new event that's coming out in Smite in 7.12, the Smite Friends event. Now, it is getting towards the holiday season, and 'tis the season for giving. So this is going to be a brand new event that's coming out to you guys where you will be able to get a bunch of awesome skins, but also get free rewards that you can gift to other people on your friends list or in the end of match lobby if you think they did a good job. So the way it works is if you buy a bundle, you'll get a couple skins, but you'll also get a token to give a free gift to somebody. And we've got a bunch of awesome skins that we want to show off. And we're going to kick things off with the bundle 1 that's coming out on December 15th with Molten Destroyer Cthulhu. I know it's been a long time coming.
Nice.
We've made some changes to the schedule. A lot of people have been asking, when's the Cthulhu skin coming out? We are happy to show you guys that it is finally here. We're going to go in game a little bit later and show this off to you guys as well. But I'm loving the lava vibes. What do you think, Clumsy?
This is spectacular. I know a lot of people were asking when the real Cthulhu skin's coming out. And I mean, I wanted to see it too. And this does it justice. This is awesome.
Definitely think that's going to look
great.
good.
And I believe we'll have the turnaround video to show you guys some more detail on the model before we go in game. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack.
I shall rain tectonic destruction upon our enemies.
That is a cool one.
There we go.
I mean, the voice pack is just Cthulhu,
deep
but
oranges and reds. And I believe Pawn is just about ready to show us off in game here. Yep. There we go. I just cannot get over how crazy Cthulhu's model is. And the effects are awesome. I'm loving the flames. This is sick.
So, I mean, when you're playing this skin, you just got to go full damage, right? Because this guy's just going to burn you apart.
For sure, right? Yeah. You got to bring the heat.
Maybe see it for the ultimate.
Ooh. Yeah, this is looking so cool. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. And the ultimate. That is sick.
Oh.
Straight out of a volcano.
That feels so cool, those abilities.
Definitely loving all the effects and stuff on this one. The details on like the lava on the ultimate one are crazy.
That's what I was thinking. That looks so cool. The trails.
I know, right? Well, this is Molten Destroyer Cthulhu headed you guys' way in the Smite Friends event, but we've also got another skin in this bundle, Danzaborou. And no, I just didn't say his name twice. I said the name of the skin because he is definitely a Don. Look at this man.
Let's go.
It up. Ready to do a heist. This is crazy. And we don't normally ship gods and skins in the same patch, but like I said earlier, we made some updates to the schedule and we were able to do it for this one. And I am super excited about it. This one looks great and I can't wait to check out the model. What do you think, Pon?
What are the dreams?
Oh my gosh. The first person to guess what the actual leaf is in the skin instead gets a cookie.
Yeah.
It's so
we'll
good.
be looking
all the
at
effects
chat.
of this skin are so good.
I know. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we go in game and check it out.
That's a feather up there.
New
but-
York has never seen a more villainous mobster. Show some respect.
Oh, this is so great. And I cannot wait for this skin and the Kuzenbo skin duo lane
Oh
to
my
pop
Yes.
off. This is just so
Oh my god,
great.
that is actually so
Let's
good.
go ahead and take a look at it in game. Pawn is ready. Oh, this one looks so dope. Got the basic attacks, the tiny little rockets, the money bags.
They have Louis Vuitton
Yeah.
style print.
This is great.
Or even the coin is
Coin
different.
there.
Some things are obviously still work in progress. Like I know we're missing some sounds, but that'll be in for you soon.
For sure. There we go. All right, let's look at it. Get. Oh,
Oh.
man, I love the
Checkerboard
checkerboard.
pattern.
Oh, of course.
Oh, the money, the dollar bills.
Of
Dollar
course.
bills, yo.
It's
Okay,
so
that's,
good.
that is
so
great.
I love this.
That is great.
Awesome. All right, take a look at the. I wonder what the ultimate is. Oh my
it's got
gosh.
a top hat.
It's got a top hat. That's awesome.
That's too good. I love this skin. This
Oh,
skin's
this is
great.
amazing. I can't get over this. This is so great. Like I said, I love the pinstripe soup. I love the mobster vibes. Danzaborou just has the perfect attitude for a skin like this.
Yep.
And it definitely translated
Very
super
nice.
well. Well, that is the first bundle in the Smite Friends event that is coming out on December 15th. Let's talk about bundle 2 that's coming out on December 29th. The first skin that is coming up for this one is Malware Monarch Persephone. And this one is definitely super awesome. Got the sci-fi vibes. What do you think, Clumsy?
I'm really excited. I got a chance to play this one in a test, and like the effects on this one are it's just awesome. I love the robotic skins and what we can do with them, but this one definitely took it to another level.
Yeah, for sure. And
don't know.
lots of interesting sci-fi sounds
Like
and
that
stuff
theme is
incorporated into
so
this kit. I got a note
drawn
from
out.
our audio department, my man Kellen, doing God's work with all
It works
the
for
audio and
Persephone
stuff
though,
that's
so maybe
coming
it's
out.
good.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the model. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love the
Does look
oranges.
nice.
This one turned out
Yeah.
really, really great.
Yeah, it's like a more futuristic version of like the biohacker collie. Like it's the more futuristic 100 years.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
future
that makes
version.
sense. Yeah, for sure. All right,
So
well, let's
good.
go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for Malware Monarch Persephone.
Why let your body be a boundary when it can be limitless potential instead?
Nice. I'm loving the filters on that voice pack as well. All right. Next up in bundle 2 of Smite Friends, we've got World Tour Nemesis. So we've got the music vibes coming out. Nemesis is definitely a rock star. And as we get the card art ready here, I love this. This is awesome. I like the
I mean,
the
nothing better than
shades,
like the weapon.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like that the guitar going.
I don't know about this
the
one.
sharp edges, the shutter shades are awesome.
Yep.
And
I like rock
believe we'll
skins,
have the
but
model turn around here to show off, but the details in the outfit and the car
Why Nemesis?
definitely
Anyways?
looks sick. And I'm loving the wings, got the translucent
No, I like
effects
it even
going
less
on.
with the wings.
This one's great. What do you think?
I mean, just swinging around that guitar, right, as a weapon, that's just the coolest like thing ever. I wonder what it's gonna like look like when you
I
use
know.
like the Final Judgment.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm definitely
one
looking
can
forward to
be
that
a
one. Let's
true
go ahead and take a
villain, what?
listen to the voice pack for World Tour Nemesis.
Who's ready to rock and roll?
I am definitely ready to rock and roll whenever this skin comes out. This one is looking super cool.
I'm
And the
not.
last bundle in Smite Friends that we want to show off, we've got Zero Gravity Nike. This one's actually going to be available on January 12th. And Nike is definitely taking the victory to outer space. And she's got the spacesuit going. Clumsy, what do you
What's
think?
up with it?
She's got the little space cat ears too. It's adorable.
What?
This is gonna be looking awesome while smashing her foes. I like that a lot.
Yeah, this one's sick. I love the
Yeah, she
weapon.
definitely
I
has, like,
believe we'll
a-
probably...
Oh my! It's got a little
that's
cat face
awesome.
on it.
Oh,
Wait a
yeah.
second.
Oh.
That is
Makes
great.
way more
That
sense
is
now.
amazing.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Even the
love
There's
this.
a few cat things on there.
What?
And her personality is kind of like that of like a zero gravity champion brawler. It's really fun.
love
Even
this.
it's
That's so
happening
cool.
with
That's
a skin.
amazing.
The
Let's go
cat
ahead and take a
boots as
listen
well.
to the
What?
voice pack for Zero Gravity Nike.
Oh boy.
Get ready, everyone. The 3x zero gravity champion is ready for another belt.
That's
Let's
amazing.
go.
The
Three times.
time. Let's get it. All right. And then the last skin in bundle 3 of Smite Friends, we've got Witching Hour Freya. So little bit on the spookier vibes here. Halloween passed, but a lot of people like to celebrate Halloween all year because it is just so cool. But I'm loving the fantasy fairy tale vibes here. What do you guys think?
I'm just happy to see Freya get some more skins with like the high magical fantasy elements in them. Like I think this one's just gonna feel really cool to play. Even if you are a mage ADC, you'll feel a bit more like a mage with this.
For sure. That makes a lot of sense. I love the staff, and it's got like the butterfly wings there, and I believe her cape has got some of the butterfly elements there as well, and even a little nod in the hat.
Wow, that looks...
This one is definitely looking great. Oh, the socks are on point.
Really
AJ
cool
would be impressed. That's super dope.
Oh my god.
Let's go ahead and take a
my
look
favorite weapon. It's Smite.
Like Witching Hour Freya.
Let's see what kind of mischief we can brew up today.
For sure. And like Pon was saying, that weapon is awesome. I like how it resembles a sword. The energy, it resembles like a sharp sword.
It's like a scepter saber.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, and then the final reward that we're going to go in game and show off for the Smite Friends event is Phoenix Fury Kukulkan. And this one is so dope. I can't wait to go in game and show this off. I know the
dragon model again
has had a lot of stuff that they wanted to call out here. This is great. Reborn from Serpent of the Nine Winds into a Phoenix. I'm loving the details here. And I can't wait to see the model. This will be available on December 15th because like all of our events now, you can buy all to get all of the rewards up front and then just automatically unlock stuff as things come out. But this model looks great. I love the fire effects.
If this was the Phoenix we had to siege in like Conquest, I wouldn't siege the base. I'd dip out.
Yeah, I know, right? I would be like, everybody get Emperor's armor, please. And I am not going in radius because that is scary. Well, let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one before we go in game.
Only together can we prevail in the face of darkness.
Slightly unexpected, but I'll take it.
All right, just about ready to go in game here. Can't wait to look at some of the effects here on the abilities. And I believe we've got some notes from the animation team. We've got some custom animations on this one that we'll show off in a little bit. The one looks great.
The material on the wings is so cool. I love this a lot.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Oh, I love the flames at the base of the tornado there.
That's a lot happening there.
That looks so sick. All right, ultimate ability here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's that one of those custom animations. Oh, that's awesome.
The fire spin at the start.
Oh, that is great.
Wow. That is cool.
Wait, can you do it? Yeah. Okay, I love the animation, on the ulti there, because he's like he's like being reborn in that ulti. That's so cool. He's like kind of becomes a fiery egg for a moment. Oh, that's awesome. Right there.
Hooking us up with the slow-mo. There we go. That's awesome. And I believe I've got a note here that this skin actually has a brand new recall animation.
Let's see.
Is he fully going to turn into an egg then?
Swoops. Oh, it fades. He like fades out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. That is cool.
Yeah, I didn't catch that until the very end. That's awesome. And then also, this skin will have custom victory and defeat screens animations as well. Won't be able to show those off now because we're in game, but you guys can look forward to that when this update comes out.
Nice.
But this skin turned out absolutely amazing. It's the final reward in Smite Friends, like I said, and you guys can get this when the patch drops on December 15th.
Awesome.
Pon going through, showing off some of the abilities there one last time. All right, well, that wraps it up for the Smite Friends event. Let's talk about some of the other skins that are coming up, some of the later weeks in the 7.12 update. And we'll kick things off with Space Cadet Vulcan. I know, like I said, we had a ton of skins at the top of the show, guys. We're going to keep going here. We got Space Cadet Vulcan up next. He is in the retro space chest, and I love the vibe. This is like an 80s, like, cartoon or like TV show with the aliens in the background.
The outfit, the puffy arms, so cool.
I know, it's so retro. This is awesome. I definitely
the voice pick for that one is good.
And look, he's got the hair. Vulcan normally doesn't have the hair, but he's looking dapper. He's looking good. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
Interstellar Command, I'm not reading you. Looks like we'll be doing this my way.
Yes.
This is spot on.
So good. I love the filters and stuff on the voice. Oh, the blaster is sick on his little leg band there.
Yeah.
I love the rocket hammer as well. All right, next up, cool. You guys know I love the mech skins. We got Living Alloy Jormungandr, and you guys give me a hard time all the time, but you guys cannot say that this isn't dope. Like, look at this skin. This is so clean.
Is he fighting knights? What's happening?
Oh my God. Just like in the
These
same
poor knights are on horseback.
Yeah,
I know. Like, first of all, how did he even get there? What battlefield is this? This is crazy.
What's going on?
He traverses through time. Yeah. He looks sick.
This is crazy. Well, the world surfing through time and space. Oh, the model looks so crazy. Oh, that's awesome. This color scheme
looks like
light
Jared
blue,
does.
Orange, the lightning. This one turned out
But
super dope.
robot.
This is my new favorite Jormungandr skin. Auto equip whenever I play him. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice back for this one.
World shall become their tomb, their ruin.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just what I like to hear. This one is looking so cool. I cannot wait to play with this one. And speaking of something else that I cannot wait for, we've got the SMITE World Championships coming up January 4th through the 10th. Placement rounds, high-risk showcase, all of that jazz. So we've got a special reward that you guys will be able to earn for free just by watching the World Championships through our Twitch drops. We've got SWC Champion Chang'e, and this one is going to be available, like I said, as a Twitch drop during the World Championships. She's got a corgi here, and she is ready to get down for esports. So is that little corgi. This one turned out so great, and we're actually going to show this one off in game just because it's super cool. You guys will be able to earn it completely for free. We'll have more details on all of our Twitch drops that are going to be happening over the
dig it.
weekend,
I like this
as you get
like,
closer to the event. But we definitely want to give you guys
skins.
an early look, and that corgi is so cute. Oh my
I've
goodness!
got to assume it's not just the corgi speaking for Chang'e, right?
I actually really like the skin.
Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack before we go in game and show this off.
I'm not a fan of K-pop skins normally.
Rez and I are so hyped! Let's get this W!
Oh,
okay, I'm just gonna use the
I
default
love
voice pack maybe.
As Rez. Yeah, that's awesome.
But the skin is cool.
There we go.
Little dog running around. So cute.
I'm loving the swag. She's got the SWC swag. The jacket is looking dope. The hat, and she's got the trusty hammer, our championship trophy, as her weapon there.
Oh, I like how she uses it.
And I've got a note here that they did some really cool stuff incorporating Chang'e's music to make it feel like you're at an event, and you've got the EDM music cranking, ready for the World Championships to start.
Oh, it's more electronic.
Oh, that's great. Oh, I didn't even notice. She's got the Titan Forge symbol underneath there as she's walking around. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm loving the effects on this one as well.
Somehow I really like this one, even though it doesn't
can you do me a
seem
favor
like it would
and
fit
buy
Chang'e.
something? I just want to see the little corgi scutter away.
You know, Chang'e's a jungler, so Assassin's Blessing.
There you go.
Later.
Oh,
he's going.
So cute. Oh my goodness, that is great. Definitely looking forward to this. And who knows, maybe we'll see some Chang'e jungle at SWC. She's been seeing a little bit of play in the Pro League, for sure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the health buff recently did a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
She's performing so well.
It's coming back.
Oh, did he get stuck? There we go. We gotta wait for it.
Now she's been picked the SPL, so who knows? Might be a good choice.
Oh, there you go. That is awesome. Absolutely amazing. SWC Chang'e is going to be available as a free Twitch drop during the SMITE World Championships. We hope that you guys will tune in and watch with us to earn this awesome reward.
Nice.
But we've got just a few more skins. Like I said, we've got a ton to show off before we close the show today, guys. We're going to start talking about some of the stuff that's coming up in the later half of the 7.12 update. And we've got first up Thunderfang Thor. And this one is looking great. I know AJ said he got to work with a concept artist that he's been wanting to work with forever. And I love how he just kind of transformed him into like a wolf beast. And he's got that axe instead of the hammer. What do you guys think?
That's incredible. Incredible. Oh, I love
looking sick. I can't wait to take a look at the model here because I know we put in a lot of work on the details. Oh, that looks great. Oh, the armor is awesome.
Yeah, I love like how the armor has like fur parts, like little like teeth bones.
Yeah.
Right? I love
Nice
how it's
Godfall
asymmetrical
themed
too.
skin.
One shoulder pad is kind of a lot larger and got a lot more detail on it than the other. It really pops out to me. This one's looking great, and I love the lightning effects around the axe as well. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the voice pack for this one.
Strike first, strike true, and never yield in battle.
This one's definitely looking clean. This is going to be available in the Fighter Beast chest in January during the 7.12 update. And last but not least, before we close out the show, guys, probably my favorite skin of the patch, and we teased it out on social media a little bit earlier, but we've got Rogue Android Izanami. And this is a new theme that we're doing. It's futuristic, sci-fi, but it's still got some of the traditional Japanese elements in it. So cool.
Fitting timing.
You see inside there?
Yes, you can see
That's
through.
terrifying, man.
This is amazing, though. And this card art is beautiful. Sorry, Pon, go ahead.
Yeah, no, this skin is incredible. Like, especially like you'll see in game, like the style, like the clothing is just also really cool.
Yeah, this one is looking so cool. I cannot wait to play with this one. And like Pon was saying, you can see through. You've got like the bones, kind of like the skeletal structure of the cyborg going on. And I know we did a lot of work on some of the voice processing and stuff to make it feel like, you know, she's part human, part cyborg, kind of like a broken android.
Part
let's
human,
go ahead and
part
take a
cyborg.
listen
Is
to the
that
voice pack
just
for
a
this one.
cyborg? Part human, part robot?
We will not be subject to any being's will. We control our own destinies.
There we go. Like I said earlier, this is my favorite skin of the update coming you guys' way in the Broken Android chest. And this is going to be available in January as a part of the latter half of the 7.12 update. But guys, we got through it. That's the show. Before we close out, do you guys have anything you want to say?
Really excited for, this entire year. This last patch, SWC is coming up. Thanks everyone for playing Smite, keeping going. Hopefully you love the rest of the year and, stay healthy and stay safe.
Yeah, for sure. We've got Danzaborou coming you guys' way. Yeah, Danzaborou coming you guys' way. PTS is targeted for Friday. And like Clumsy and Pon were saying, on behalf of High Res Titan Forge team, thank you for just an amazing Season 7. I know 2020 has been a crazy year, but it's been an absolute pleasure and a blast bringing you guys like the best season of Smite yet. You guys won't see us until January, but by that time, we'll be ready to talk about some Season 8. So until then, stay safe, guys. Stay positive. We'll see you all on the next one. Peace.
Oh, electronic music. We're going to cut that off. And that's it for the live patch notes. We're going to do the review, of course, of the written patch notes as well. There's quite a few things that you kind of had to skip over because they didn't really show the written text with it. So look into that. And with that, thank you guys very much for can't even talk. With that, thank you guys very much for watching. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay updated with all the other stuff as well, feel free to hit the sub button and maybe the bell so you're notified. And other than that, I hope to see you soon for when maybe this is the last video that comes out, depending on what uploads quicker. But anyways, see you guys soon. ZiSotto out.